So, yeah, last week I did a video where I said, with no disrespect and no offense, that if anybody thought Miz was going to walk into WrestleMania with the WWE Championship, that they need to get that notion out of their head. Well, last night pretty much, backed up what I said. And as much as I hate to be one of those amongst many, I'm pretty sure, that said, "We told you so," well, with no disrespect, no offense, but after last night, no disrespect, no offense, we told you so. Because last night, Bobby Lashley became WWE Champion. And I'm happy for Lashley. I think it's long overdue. As a matter of fact, you want my honest opinion, this is something that they should have done when the skillet was really, really hot. I mean, extremely hot, back in 2007. They should have done it then by putting the belt on Lashley, by having him go over John Cena in the main event match at the Great American Bash. But they didn't do that because I guess they felt Lashley wasn't ready, or they didn't want to unseat Cena just yet. They still relied on him as being the golden boy, if you will. But yeah, last night Lashley won the championship. Now you might be curious how this came about, in case you haven't been paying attention. Well, what happened was, basically Miz at Elimination Chamber brokered a deal with MVP to have Lashley attack McIntyre or whoever the champion would be after the Raw Elimination Chamber WWE Championship match. In this case, it was McIntyre. So Lashley went down there, he attacked McIntyre. It allowed Miz to come in, cash in his briefcase, and win his second WWE Championship. However, what happened though in story is that Miz, by brokering this deal with MVP, pretty much screwed himself out of his title, out of his newly won title, because what Lashley wanted in return was the WWE Championship. It's like, hey, you make a deal with the Hurt Business, you gotta be able to follow up on it. And last night, pretty much throughout the night, Miz did everything he could to avoid following through with the deal. He tried to back out of that deal. He tried to reluct on it. He tried to backpedal. He tried to act like he was sick. Where he would no-show. He tried to get himself counted out, where pretty much as soon as the bell rang, he ran out of the ring, grabbed his title, and sprinted up that ramp like his life depended on it. And eventually that all caught up to him, to where Shane's like, enough. We're gonna have this title match, and this is how it's going to go down. You're going to either show up, or you're going to forfeit the match and your title if you don't. And then because that stipulation was added, Miz had no choice but to show up and defend. But to make sure he wouldn't try to pull the same crap again, Shane said, you know what, I'm going to add a little something to this as well. And out comes a bunch of lumberjacks, both faces and heels, to make sure Miz doesn't walk out. Now you would think, okay, Miz is a heel, shouldn't the heels be helping him? Well, in this case, what I'm trying to say, and when it comes to the storyline with the Miz, that wasn't the case, because even the heels despise him. Even the heels feel like, hey, you're not WWE, you shouldn't be wearing that title. You're not worthy of it. So yeah, Miz ended up losing the title to Lashley, when Lashley pretty much squashed him, put him in the Hurt Lock, which is a full Nelson submission, and won the title. Now, I know some people still feel that WWE will probably screw this up, knowing their history, and they'll still find a way to put the belt on the Miz, so that he'll walk into WrestleMania with it. And look, I'm not denying how you feel about the possibility that Miz may get it back in the rematch. But I think that probability is lower than I think you can expect. It's probably lower than you are probably anticipating, because yes, Miz is going to get a rematch. And yes, it'll probably be some gimmicky match to where he'll at least have a more fighting chance to regain the championship. But pretty much, as soon as Lashley won the championship, WWE locked in one half of the Raw main event for WrestleMania, for basically one of the nights to close it out. Now you might be asking, okay, well, if they locked in that part, who's the other part? Who's the other half? And more than likely, it's going to be Drew McIntyre. Now, some have even said that we might even get a triple threat match or a fatal four-way, which would include the likes of Sheamus and maybe Keith Lee thrown into the mix. And that might happen too. You know, knowing WWE, to kind of make things in their eyes more intriguing, more interesting, they might say, okay, Bobby, you're the almighty. Let's give you more than just Drew to defend the title against at WrestleMania. They might do that. I'm not saying they won't, but, you know, they might do that. However the situation may be going into Mania, you know, whatever the case may be, like I said, they pretty much locked in one half of the main event, the other half more than likely being McIntyre, you know, and thus we will have, you know, McIntyre and Lashley for the title on one of the nights, to close out one of the nights at WrestleMania in Raymond James Stadium. Now, a lot of people pretty much said that the reason this is going to happen anyway, or the reason Lashley got the belt, you know, in the first place as of last night, was so that McIntyre can win it back in Mania and get the Mania moment in front of a crowd, an actual crowd, that he was denied last year because of the pandemic. And that's probably true. That's probably more than likely true. But I look at the fact that, I look at it like this. You know, we may think, you know, McIntyre is going to win. But again, this is the same mentality. And I say this with no disrespect. No disrespect, no offense. But this is the same mentality that people had last week when they believed WWE would keep the title on Miz till Mania. It's that same mentality from those same kind of people that believed WWE would screw things up and put the title on Miz in some screwy way at Fastlane, that he still walks into Mania with the title. Well, again, like I said before, get that notion out of your head, because the probability of that happening is very low. But like I said, you know, these are the same people that felt that Miz was going to walk in with the title. But the point I'm trying to get at, before I ramble a little bit more and go off topic, or kind of ramble off topic or away from what I'm trying to say, you know, we think McIntyre is going to win the title at Mania from Lashley, or from Lashley and whoever else might be involved. But who's to say Lashley won't retain? I mean, let's not forget this. What was it? Like 4 or 5 years ago, we thought Roman Reigns was going to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania for the title. It was pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered in a lot of people's eyes that was going to happen. And when it didn't, it shocked us, because we're like, well, we didn't see that coming. We thought Roman was going to win. He was going to be coordinated at this year's Mania. And when it didn't, and Lesnar retained and closed out the show by doing so, it was like, okay, that's unexpected. So, you know, so to me, you know, it may seem very likely that McIntyre is going to win, you know, and get his moment that he was denied last year. But who's to say Lashley won't retain, and they'll hold off at it until maybe SummerSlam, when we have more than just, you know, 25%, 30% of a crowd on one of those nights. Like we have a full arena. Who's to say they won't hold off until that time? I'm just saying. But anyway, though, in closing, I want to say congratulations to Bobby Lashley, long overdue. And as I said, no disrespect, you know, no disrespect when I say this, but amongst those that said we told you so, we told you so. But let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. Let me know what you think in the live chat during the premiere. And I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care. Stay safe. And I'm out.